Yeah, I mean, no, it's important because gut health is really important. That's why you gotta drink this shit, because it's got a lot of living.
I swear to God,
bacteria
if you give a free shout out for a company that ain't paying us anything,
you know what's coming next.
I'm gonna snap.
Health Aid Kombucha. The Pink Lady Apple is my personal favorite.
You know what? People are gonna listen. They're gonna hear what I just said, and they're gonna be like, "We can't trust anything this guy fucking sells because he'll sell whatever pays him money."
You're damn right.
This fucking capitalist.
Pays me money or gets my dick wet. One of the two. Anywho.
Oh, man. I thought we were taking a hiatus from that.
No.
I guess it's here.
Full throttle.
It is a clear and present danger in every episode. If you're sitting within, speaking distance of the mic, it is just a clear and present danger.
Your kids are going to hear it eventually. You might as well hear it with their Uncle Dane and David.
Yeah, but we're going to have to pay our audio guy like 10 times as much to be able to insert every 4 seconds.
Radio edit.
Earmuff Johnny or earmuff Lisa, don't let him hear the next 3 seconds.
Why can't you come up with a non-binary fucking name for Johnny and Lisa?
Whatever.
Do we have a topic today? Do you want to do your intro?
Hold on. Yeah, you got to do.
You got to do your read your cue
number
card
first, right?
Read your cue card.
Oh, I get it. WMD Podcast /5, just the number 5. WMDpodcast.com/5.
Number 5.
That is this episode. And you know what? I'm just gonna give everybody a little window into how we think. We were thinking about the first couple episodes we recorded. And I was like, yeah, a little serious. We're going on the serious side. We got to let them know that we're at least 2-dimensional. We're not 47, but we have more modes than just one.
I'm pretty sure we're 3-dimensional.
Which just by me explaining this is going to be like, no, dude, you still have 1 dimension. On to the main, brother.
Oh, God. I just got so confused.
Anyway, yes, find this episode. Also tell us in the comments where we're stupid at the end. We're taking this one a little more lighthearted today.
Taking it off-road.
Because David here had quite an interesting experience this week.
I'm not happy about it, and I want to talk about
that. We think, for whatever reason, is going to serve as good, high-quality content for this here audience. So
we're totally off basis. We're going to try to patch this one together.
Split test the hell out of this. Tell us how terrible this is versus the other one, or vice versa.
Right.
All right, David. Line it up, throw it at our faces. What befell you this week?
Okay. I'm going to set the stage for it. It takes a little explaining. It's going to take some doing. All right. So there's this road that we use down here. It goes all the way up the coast too, doesn't it?
A1A?
No, A1A. Or just A1A.
I don't know. I think it used to go all the way up to like Connecticut or something, but I don't know if it still does. Anyway, whatever.
Doesn't matter. It's a picturesque road. There's a bunch of mansions on the beach. It's beach driving predominantly. And I'm going to go on a rant. And if you're one of these people, you need to seriously look at yourself in the goddamn mirror. Okay? There's bikers, not like Hell's Angels bikers, but like Le Tour de France bikers, like what would you call it? Road bikers? Road. What are they called? Road bikers. Road bikes, right?
Road warriors? I don't know.
I don't know. They wear those like stupid sperm suits. They got like they've got like endorsements on it that clearly they just bought it because that company's totally not endorsing them to ride. Anyway, they take it really, really serious.
It says it only goes up to Georgia.
Oh.
And then like down to the Georgia. Keys. So.
Well, then I guess.
We were way out. Did I say Connecticut?
Yeah, US 1 goes all the way up and down. But anyway, so anyway, these fucking people, they, at 5 o'clock, this is the first strike against me, at 5 o'clock p.m., rush hour traffic, they'll get a group of 50 to 70 of them that will ride their bikes back north and completely take over. It's a 2-lane road. So it's north-south. It's north-south. 1 lane down, 1 lane north. And these motherfuckers will take an entire lane.
And I forget, does it have the little area for bikes off to the side?
It's got a little sliver for the bikes.
But I mean, is it a designated path?
Yes, it's a designated
path. Is it just like...
It's a designated biking lane.
Okay.
Oh, and this will come into play later in our story. Right next to a huge steaming bowl of foreshadowing.
Get to the main, brother. Which I feel like you could say to me on every episode.
Oh, absolutely.
Here we go.
So, here we go. So, these guys already have a strike against me. They're constantly getting hit down here. But, to be fair, they're also constantly acting like they own the fucking road and that they're entitled to whatever the hell that they can do with ill regard of any kind of any kind of...
On one of the early, I think on the intro episode, you shut us down to the whole state of Alabama. Now you're going to shut us down to bikers worldwide.
Is it really the niche that you're going for? Are we really trying to get into the Tour de France? The Weapons of Meme Destruction, sponsored by the Tour de France. Catch the fever. Anywho. So,
are we going to get in trouble for attributing some kind of tagline to them?
Shit.
Speaking of which, we need to talk about tagline. Came across.
I thought it was, we likes memes and we got opinions. I thought that was our tagline.
I love it. Okay. Oh, we got to write that down.
It's been the tagline for years now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pause it one and we'll see what people say.
Okay.
Anyway,
all right.
Sorry.
All right.
See, now you know how I feel.
Yeah. Well.
Mid thought stream.
I've still got it. It's still a flow of consciousness up
here. All right.
Go ahead. So I feel like I've set it up enough. You get a general story. So basically, I'm heading home at 8:30ish, 8:45ish. The sun's down. It's dark. And the biker in question, shall we say, is giving it his damnedest.
The suspect,
as it were, is giving it his damnedest. He's going about 20, 21 miles per hour, just really getting his fitness in, you know?
Wait, was he like doing like the stand-up hard pedal? Or was he on the
No, he's doing a seated, like, lean forward, I'm aerodynamic, so I can get my best time to impress nobody. Because it's Tour de France.
Oh, that's where I thought you were going with it, but I'm like... Okay.
So, I can't prove whether or not he was French. I'm not going to even try. He wasn't smoking a Gauloise or anything, or
talk about big words.
Telling me that I am a piece of shit for the country I grew up in. Anywho, so I give him more than enough space because I clearly see him because he's got a blinking red light on his ass.
Well, you mentioned earlier about getting hit all the time.
So right. So at least that, you know.
He's being safe.
That should be your first warning right there, that maybe your workout shouldn't be your workout if you have to attach flashing lights to you at all times. Just a suggestion. The less of you there are, the more I'm going to be happy. Anyway. And the quicker I'll get home. Anywho.
Are you suggesting everybody should buy a Peloton?
Fucking stop. It should be taken out of the goddamn triathlon. We don't need it. Replace it with something else.
Then it would just be a biathlon.
Sure. You don't need the tri. Cut the fucking thing out.
Well, there goes the Iron Man crowd.
Bye, Iron Man. Sorry. I know how intense it is and how hard it is. But anyway. So I give him more than enough room because, as always, he's exited his biking lane specific for him and has meandered into my lane, which happens quite often. So I give him more than enough space. Continue on. The car in front of me slows down because it's looking for a parking spot.
You go over the center line to give him space? Or
I went over the center line because there was no oncoming traffic. Right. So I gave him more than enough space. I was more than accommodating.
To avoid him on a bike driving in a road for cars.
At night.
Do I have the gist?
Yeah, that's
but
it.
He has a blinking light.
You didn't let me finish.
Okay.
He has one on his ass, and he also has one on his forehead. Fucking Poindexter. Yeah, he's extra safe. Just in case you're in reverse, you can see him too, you fuckwad. Anyway. Anyway, I'm starting to get wrapped up in this.
Yeah, we gotta calm you down here.
It's too familiar. It's too close. It's too close to me. Anyway, so I give him enough space, and this is the beach. This is the boardwalk. So there's people getting done with the beach. Over to my right, I'm heading north. And the car in front of me slows down because it probably wants to pull over, maybe go to a restaurant, maybe do something. I don't know. I don't know what their intentions are.
Doesn't matter. For the purpose of the story, what the other person is going to do.
But he does slow down, which is part of the story. So yes. I slow down myself, and there's these like little crosswalks and these little crosswalk denotation signs that say, "Stop for people in the crosswalk." Like, fucking thanks. Anyway, Sorry, I got off a tangent there too. So I slowed down and I scoot my car over because it's in the middle of the road and, just being safe. I don't want to catch anything on my car on that. So I scooch over, still completely in my lane, by the way. Completely in my lane. And then I hear a boom! And everybody's driven through like a neighborhood with kids playing. Maybe they lose a soccer ball.
We're sorry about your speakers. Everybody.
Yeah, sorry that I projected.
Well, put that pillow up to your face or something when you do that to
muzzle myself.
Woo! I mean,
did you get that? Did we clip it on that one?
They don't know if they got it now because they don't have any speakers in their car.
Take that. Fucking Roadrunner Records should have sung me years ago.
Here's a loud thud on the back corner, rear quarter panel of your car or something?
I don't know. It sounded like it was at like mid passenger door, maybe a little bit behind. Anyway, so I look in my rearview mirror. I'm like, oh shit! Did a kid hit my car with a ball? Or is there a kid in the street getting the balls? I don't see any ball. And then who do I see but the Banshee from fucking 2 minutes late or 2 minutes earlier?
Yeah. Pedaling
like a madman.
Away from you?
No, north. Pedaling past me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He kicked and then he didn't stop after he kicked. He
pedaled up faster. So I deduced, which you already kind of spoiler alerted me, he hit my fucking car. I don't know with what. It could have been a canteen, could have been a bottle, could have been his hand, could have been something. And I felt a rage that I had not felt in many a year, like that cold, tingly feeling like shooting up the back of your head where all you see is red and you're...
Everybody's sitting there like, I've never had that feeling.
Murders!
You should get help, son.
Like, you could kick 20 puppies in that moment.
Why would
that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't bear logic. It's just, I need to inflict pain on things. So
that puppies, immediately... Man. Anything but puppies.
I love puppies. You know me. I'm a puppy lover. Cats? Not a fan. Do not bring a cat to my house. I will.
He's not going to punch your cat.
I'm going to punch your cat. Right in its stupid cat fucking face.
Oh,
so anyway,
I don't like the direction this is
going. I love all animals.
Can we get back to the actual perpetrator here?
Sorry, I'm spraying in all directions. I'm swinging wild, Francine. Anyway, God damn it.
Okay,
so,
anger. Yes. But how did you know that it was him? That's what I want to know.
Because he kind of flipped me the bird as he went by.
Are you sure? Or is that what you remember?
It all happened so fast. Because I saw his hand coming down.
Okay.
As I looked in both my rearview mirrors and I looked to the side and I saw his hand coming down. It definitely wasn't on his handle where it should have been, or in forward position for his most aerodynamic approach. So I rolled my window down because I was going to let this little motherfucker have it. And lo and behold, the stoplight kicks on. And this brings me to yet another point. He pedals like a banshee through it. And by then, I did my mantras, practiced my deep breathing, kind of calm myself down a little bit. And so that was it. But I've got a lot of statements about it, and I want to go over them with you. Why don't you chime in?
So
let me know what you're seeing on
I
that.
mean, okay. This isn't even really playing devil's advocate. This is just like, have you seen those scientific studies where, and I'm totally going to butcher the conclusion in the title or whatever, but there's something along these lines where it's just like, the human memory is way worse than we think it is. Like people, they remember things a certain way. Right, exactly. And then like, even as you age,
you create false memories.
Right. Okay, so, I know this, this didn't happen when you were 3 years old, so it's obviously very fresh in your mind. But, there's things like, okay, if you saw, so if the sequence of the events in your head were thud, guy probably did thud, anger, and flip off, like, if the anger comes before any of those things, that's not to say that what you said you saw or what you remembered actually happened. You got the
sequence incorrect, my friend. I heard thud. I looked at my rearview mirrors to see and assess the situation, as we are taught to do in driver's ed. I assess the situation. I see and I assess. And I assess that this motherfucker just hit my car. That's what I assessed. All right,
nerd. Now we know who actually read the little booklet before they went and took the multiple choice.
I'm scared. I don't want to be the one fucking guy in class.
See and assess.
I see and I assess.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, you see and assess.
So the rage didn't come.
Right, not then.
When I heard the thud or when I
looked. So you may have seen the flip off thing during see and assess time.
Oh, I probably
I thought as he was going through the red light, so he had already you've done your see and assess, you see him, and then you're like, anger, and then, flip off as he's going through. No, putting his hand down as he's going through.
No.
Okay.
Right.
So let's take this line of facts in the light, most credible to the one saying it, and let's just believe everything.
Okay.
All right, where do we go from here? What are your takeaways?
That's pretty. My takeaway
from this breach of your social trust.
Number one, I know they don't think that they are. They feel like they're this weird, like duality in one where like
they're a car, but they're not.
They're a car, but they're a pedestrian at the same time. So car rules only apply to them if it behooves them, but they don't have to yield to car rules, and they can do pretty much whatever they want. And then it's my job to watch out for them because they're them and they're just so fucking special.
I know we see this as an entertaining, lighthearted episode, right. It is, and I promise not to hijack the conversation.
Please. Give me some solace.
I promise not to hijack the conversation.
In my want to murder this
other than saying this, that attitude that you just are talking about, I think a lot of people see that come out in that community in that situation. Maybe in a restaurant, they're perfectly nice people. They tip the waiter well. They're polite to everybody. They're always deferential. Maybe that's it. But when they're a biker. Riding a bike, and so all I wanted to interject into this, the evil empire. The laws have almost forced that kind of behavior. Not necessarily how they act with it, but it's forced them off the sidewalks. Because if they're on the sidewalks in many jurisdictions, and I don't know if down here is one of them, but if they're on the sidewalks and they hit a pedestrian, they can be treated and charged like
they can get a DUI too.
Right.
If they get pulled over and they've got alcohol in their breath, they can get a DUI. So the
government's big solution to a bike, something that weighs like 15 pounds max, if it's one of those mountain bikes or whatever.
If that.
But a bike.
It's not a mountain bike, is it?
Hitting a person. Okay, well, whatever. I'm just saying.
I like mountain bikers. You guys are badass.
However heavy a bike is, it's not a freaking car.
Correct.
So they're going to take these people on a small thing like a bike, hitting another person who's, unprotected, helmet, whatever, and they're going to put that person, one of the people, the bike rider, into the road, expect them not to act like
I got a rebuttal. But these motherfuckers are so into going fast, and they have to do these races, and they have to do all this nonsense, that they take it so seriously that it jumps the shark, if you will. It's like... they've gone too far. They've taken it too far.
Yes.
Like, dude, you can slow down for 2 minutes of your ride while I slowed, just like I slowed down for the car in front of me. If I took the same approach that he did to hitting my car and approached the car in front of me, I would just ram my fucking car right into the back of the motherfucker that slowed down. Like, you stupid fucking idiot! Didn't you see I wanted to go faster? You see that, right? You fucking asshole. It's just, officer, he was going 17 miles per hour. So, yeah, I put my bumper into the back seat of his car.
Yeah, I get you. That's a total character flaw in that situation. That's a total dick move. They have no right to do that. I'm with you.
Okay.
And I'm not going to continue down my point other than to say that maybe
the government's stupid.
Maybe the decision, maybe the behavior patterns that are created in these bike riders would not be
correct
as prevalent in a free society.
Free society. Well, what they should do,
we're basically in a free society. If you don't have the government, passing some arbitrary law saying this is illegal, that don't be on the bike or don't be on the sidewalks, be on the road. All I'm saying is that decision right there would be solved in a free society with civil suits. You would hear of bike riders hitting pedestrians on sidewalks, and you would hear them get sued and how much they get sued for, versus them being in the road and cars hitting them and whatever the case may be. Like, what are your chances of death? If you do, accidents happen. Yeah. Which one's going to be more costly for you? Those are internal regulations society imposes on themselves. Well,
you like capitalism too, don't you?
So
you
don't need the laws.
You just love capitalism, right? You just love capitalism.
Yes, I do.
Well, if these guys are so concerned about getting hit by fucking cars, maybe they should get their little clicky shoes together and come up with enough money to build their own road that they can ride on. Then it's just for them. Pay taxes, goddammit. I think your dad said that one time or 3 times. Anyway.
Let's just say that Pops isn't as principled as his son ended up being.
He's got a little more bite to his bark than we do.
He can be, taxes. He can agree with me all day, taxes are theft. But when he sees that bike rider on it, he's like, pay taxes like me, fucker.
Starts sweating. He gets so angry. I love it. Anyway, so to sum up the whole story, I calmed down.
We're all very glad about that.
I did not commit capital murder with my car, and I made it home. But a lot of takeaways from this. A lot of takeaways. First of all, what the fuck were you thinking hitting my car? Just want to know. Like, he thought I probably got too close.
I have another question for your story because I'm building the timing out, okay? So you pass him on the center, and then a little bit up ahead of the road, the light is turning, and that's what makes all that stuff.
Right.
Okay, from the time you passed him until the light. So what I'm saying is, was it right before the light such that as you were passing, you had to start slowing down quick, or you got some distance between you and him before you were slowing down?
Right, correct. So what happened was I passed him in... Where dog legs on A1A, you know where that's
No, but and neither does anybody else who doesn't live anywhere around here.
So basically, I'm trying to get
where
distance.
You passed, how many feet?
I probably went about, I want to say, probably a little bit less than a quarter of a mile. I probably passed him and then got about a quarter of a mile away from him, roughly.
Oh, that's... What? It's over 1,000 feet.
So that's enough time to like...
So 1,000 feet from the time you passed him until you had to get to the light.
No, 1,000 feet from just me passing him to the incident happened. And then we had another... It didn't have him bang bang with the light because, like I said, the car in front of me was driving so slow that I couldn't catch back up to him, which is probably a fucking good thing.
Okay.
But he continued to go slow and then found a parking spot, and then by the time I could catch him, the light was red.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, if there's 1,000 feet between those 2 points, if he's really pushing to go fast, then that means from the time you passed him until you were already slowed down.
A minute.
No, not a minute.
Well, he's going 20 miles per hour if he's pedaling like a banshee.
I know, but what I'm saying is when you pass him, if you're going 30 and he's going 20, you're not gaining that much ground on him over the course of 1,000 feet.
No, I was slowed down to like fucking, like I said, he was slowing down to like look for a parking spot. So the car in front of me was going like 15. So I slowed down. It was probably like a minute later that he comes and hits my car. Wasn't even. It was so bang bang. It wasn't even
fair.
Really. It was a long enough time for me to be like, so, I probably don't have to worry about this guy.
So what are your takeaways? What do we...
He's lucky to be alive. First takeaway. Second takeaway. Moving on past that. I guess, like, I wanted to... My first... Like, when I calmed down, I just wanted to be like... Just to freak him out a little bit. Just roll down my window and be like, hey! Gets pretty dark up ahead, huh? Have a nice ride. But I thought better of it. I don't know what kind of legal ground I'd be on for threatening violence. I don't think it's legal to threaten physical violence, but...
Well, it's definitely in the gray area. It's not.
it's really right there in the gray.
Pretty sure.
But I like
pretty
to think
sure
of
that's actionable. But go ahead.
Despite what I might, show on here, I think of myself as a pretty level-headed guy most of the time. And then this is another point of mine. I was like, we live in Florida. We've discussed this before. You know how crazy motherfuckers are down here, and you know how much they like their cars. And you know how much they like the Second Amendment. He's lucky I wasn't one of these crazy motherfuckers.
You're saying that good for him.
He's lucky that day. It's good for him that he hit my car, and not one of these sociopaths down here that take their car like your former employee did. He loves his car so much. If he gets as much as a scratch on it, he wants to, There's tons of people down here like that. And you hit their car, woo, boy. They pull a gun out.
Just because they're driving a Mazda Miata or they're driving a whatever doesn't mean that they're not that person.
And as we've said before, it's not hard to hit a biker. It happens all the time. So, lucky for you, you got your one shot in, but you're a dumbass too, because if you ride that route ever again at Monday at 8:30, you might just have somebody sitting outside of his goddamn vehicle. Hey! Watch out for the stick! Motherfucker. Which then brings me to another point. Do you really want to be riding a vehicle that could be disabled by a fucking stick? Think it through, guys. Make better life choices. That's all I'm saying.
No, I think I was sitting there waiting for you to say that is not where I thought you were going.
Well, I like to be unpredictable. But anyway, that's my fucking story. And that raised my blood pressure a couple of points, I'm sure.
You know what meme that is? The one with the little guy riding his bike and he takes the thing and sticks it in. He goes, fuck it, and then he blames whoever. Right. Yeah. That's not even... We didn't even have a meme for this episode, but that whole story, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it definitely took a couple of years
because the meme would actually apply here, because he would be the bike rider in the meme too, and he would be like, it would be, the stick would be like his own behavior,
right?
Being an asshole is going to get him harmed in some way by somebody that doesn't have the ability to woo-saw and then quiet their rage.
Just to sum it all up, like, what kind of person are you? What kind of person are you that you can't exercise unless it encumbers other people? Like, I have to be a nuisance to other people or else I don't get a good sweat on. Fuck you.
Oh, man.
So cheers to all that nonsense.
Yeah.
You don't have takeaways? Come on, where's the wind? Where's the wind?
I mean, I had my one deviation there in the middle, but
don't deviate.
I'm not hijacking this episode. I want the people to see what a real
fucking nut job thinks about bikers.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the only other time that happened, I was more in the wrong, but at the same time, I don't think I was completely wrong. There's like this little teenager. Like, he was 16.
Is this a different story?
This is a completely different story. But he was on a skateboard, and I was like, I can make this turn. And then he sped up on a skateboard, so I had to slam on my brakes. And then he jumped off the skateboard and did one of these what the fuck, bro? I was like, dude, keep going. And then he walks over, he picks up a skateboard, he like flexes at me a little bit. I was like, move along, psycho. And then he hit the top of my car. And that's the only other time I can think like the like little tinglies in my fucking spine. I like popped out of the car real quick. He's like, what? Like, well, and then Logic.
I could catch a charge.
And then Logic kicked me straight in the nuts and was like, if you punch this kid, you're an adult. He can't be over 17. You're an assaulting a minor? Is it worth it?
It's not a good look for career prospects.
I mean, if I just give him the people's elbow, or catch him with the power bomb, and then skedaddle. But yeah, that happened at the mall, so the mall is officially my Waterloo. But anyway, so those are all my.
I think there's a deep conversation here that I don't even think we need to have. I guess the people can tell us in the comments if. We will make a follow-up episode to this if the people agree. Which, how you express your agreement is one of two ways.
I can't wait to hear all you Landis... What's that cheater's name? Landis and then...
Lance Armstrong?
No, Lance Armstrong. I know that one. But the Landis was the one that cheated right after. And isn't he the one that, like, whistle blew on... Armstrong, and then he got caught cheating too?
That sounds familiar, but see, this could be another one of those memory things.
Yeah.
I don't trust my memory on it. We'd have to look it up.
I don't care.
Was that Floyd Landis?
Yes. Because he won it right after Armstrong did.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm finally out of the shadow of Armstrong.
He got busted for it.
And then he got popped.
Well, anyway, that's not what the follow-up episode would be. And again, I'm not taking this episode any longer. My takeaway is, in both of those instances, what happened to David? His property was harmed. Now, one way to look at that is, oh my God, he values property over lives. That's stupid. There's a dumb meme that we could spin an entire episode about. And we will if you think we should.
Don't you fucking dare. Don't you think we won't do it.
And, is it really coming from a place of selfishness? Like, ooh, greedy, my stuff, he harmed my thing, so I'm going to take his life. Like, is that where it's coming from? Or is it coming from something a little bit more
visceral,
noble and innate? And I'm not saying that the anger or the rage is noble, but what I'm saying is the connection between the property and the person. That's a very important connection, and that's a very important part of human nature and why you want to set up certain systems for human flourishing to happen. You want them to extract the best parts out of that. If that's part of human nature, you want to express the good outcomes of that, and you want to reduce the bad outcomes of that. And that's an entirely other episode. So we're going to leave that there. Tell us if you want to hear more about that in particular, and we will follow up.
Or any other goings on in my days that really just grinds our gears, or, you know.
Yeah, if you got a good story, we might just reach out to you, get you to, as a story is something, all right.
Well, if you want to share it with us.
Yeah, of course. We'll invite you on and for you to tell your story. We want people to...
On a call-in show?
Yeah.
I'm going to move over to the call-in realm. Huh?
So anyway, wdpodcast.com/5 or all of your podcast catchers. And please come to the website, drop us your email, jump on our email list, because that is option number 2. I told you there's 2 ways to get engaged with us. Tell us what you think about the show, what you want to see better or see more of, and
see more butts.
You are our people, and we want to give the people what they want.